Welcome to Psychology Decode Mind, where we don't just talk about human behavior, we decode it. From the secrets of dark intelligence to the hidden motives behind every emotion, this channel explores the deepest corners of the human mind. If you're curious about what drives people, what controls your own thoughts, and how the unconscious mind shapes your life, you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, because what you're about to discover may just change how you see the world. The hidden mechanics of respect. In the real world, respect is not built on kindness. It is built on perception. And perception is a battlefield where only the cunning survive. Most people think respect comes from being liked. They think, if I am nice, if I am polite, if I give without asking, people will admire me. But this is a lie fed to the masses to keep them obedient. Respect is not granted to the soft. Respect is granted to the unyielding, to those who cannot be bent, to those who remain a mystery. Machiavelli knew people admire strength, not kindness. They may smile at kindness, they may thank you for it, but deep inside, they see it as weakness, and weakness is not respected, it is exploited. Rule 1. Never confuse. Niceness with strength. Niceness is cheap. Everyone can smile, everyone can say yes, but strength, true strength, comes from restraint, from silence, from the ability to say no without explanation. The man who cannot refuse is a servant. The man who cannot walk away is a prisoner. But the man who can detach, who can stand alone, commands respect without asking. Rule 2. Control what you reveal. The world is full of hungry eyes. They are not watching you for your benefit. They are watching you to measure you, to weigh your weaknesses, to search for leverage. When you reveal your thoughts, your fears, your dreams too openly, you hand them a weapon. They will use your honesty against you. Machiavelli's wisdom: be unreadable. The more people know, the more they can predict. The less they know, the more they fear. And fear is a deeper root of respect than love will ever be. Rule 3. Respect is about distance. Closeness breeds contempt. The more available you are, the less you are valued. The more scarce you are, the more they crave you. Do not always explain. Do not always justify. Do not always answer. Your silence is not emptiness. It is a mirror. It forces others to project, to wonder, to imagine. And imagination is far more powerful than reality. Rule 4. Kindness without boundaries is self-destruction. A man who gives endlessly is not respected. He is drained. A man who forgives endlessly is not respected. He is used. A man who loves endlessly without demand is not respected. He is discarded. Respect is born when your kindness has limits, when your generosity is balanced with steel, when people know this person can give but can also take away. Rule 5. Silence is rebellion. In a world addicted to noise, silence is a weapon. Every word you don't say protects you. Every emotion you don't reveal shields you. Every reaction you withhold builds mystery, and mystery creates power, because the crowd cannot attack what it cannot read. Part 2. The tools of manipulators. Manipulators do not waste energy. They are efficient predators, and every predator has weapons, not knives, not guns, but words, emotions, and illusions. If you fail to recognize these weapons, you will always be a victim, but once you see them clearly, they lose their power. 1. Flattery. The currency of control. Flattery is not a compliment. It is an investment. When someone praises you too quickly, too often, ask yourself, what do they want? Because no one spends their currency for free. Flattery works because it blinds you. It makes you drop your guard. It convinces you that this person is safe, that they are your ally. Machiavelli warned, "Men are quicker to forget the death of their father than the loss of their inheritance." Why? Because what people want matters more than what they feel, and flattery is the key to access those wants. Counter move. When someone praises you, pause. Do not reward them with instant trust. Detach. Ask, what do they gain if I believe this? 2. Guilt. The invisible chain. Guilt is one of the oldest tools of control. Parents use it, lovers use it, leaders use it. If you loved me, you'd do this. If you were loyal, you wouldn't say no. If you were a good person, you'd sacrifice. This is not love. This is imprisonment. Guilt transforms your strength into weakness. It makes you question your own boundaries, and the more you give, the more they demand. Counter move. Understand this. Boundaries are not cruelty, they are protection. When guilt is used against you, recognize it as an attack. Do not defend, do not explain. Simply repeat, "This is my decision." 3. Confusion. The fog of war manipulators thrive in chaos. They twist your words, rewrite the past, change the story until you no longer trust your memory. They destabilize your reality. One day you're their savior, the next, their villain. You don't know which is true, and in that doubt, you become dependent. You start seeking their version of reality because yours feels unstable. Counter move. Hold to logic. Keep records, mental or written. Detach from their shifting narratives. Ask, why do they need me confused? What do they gain if I doubt myself? 4. Silence and withdrawal. Not every manipulator attacks directly. Some punish you by pulling away. They withdraw affection. They ignore you. They create anxiety in you until you chase them, beg them, surrender your power. This is control through absence. Counter move. Do not chase. Do not beg. Their silence is a mirror showing you how much control they had. When you remain calm, their weapon turns useless. 5. Fear. The last resort. When all else fails, manipulators use fear. Not always open threats, but subtle ones. If you leave me, you'll regret it. If you don't obey, bad things will happen. If you defy me, you'll be alone. Fear works because humans are wired for survival. We imagine consequences before they happen. Counter move. Remember, most threats are empty. Fear is a bluff to keep you frozen. The antidote to fear is clarity. Ask, what power do they really have? What happens if I walk away? Machiavelli's counter. Moves. Machiavelli knew manipulation is not eliminated by kindness. It is defeated by strategy. Here are his laws of immunity. 1. Assume intention in every action. No gesture is neutral. Every compliment, every request, every criticism, assume it serves a purpose. When you analyze intention, you pierce the disguise. 2. Trust only. When it benefits. Trust is not a virtue. It is a weapon. And like all weapons, you must control when to use it. Trust selectively. Trust temporarily. Trust only when it creates leverage for you. 3. Detach from emotional reflexes. If you crave approval, you are already controlled. If you fear rejection, you are already trapped. Detach. Do not reward flattery with openness. Do not reward guilt with obedience. Do not reward fear with submission. 4. Redefine the terms Machiavelli taught. Power belongs to the one who defines the rules. If someone pressures you to rush, slow down. If someone demands an answer, stay silent. If someone floods you with emotions, stay calm. When you refuse to play their script, they lose control. 5. Unreadability is power. The manipulator studies reactions. If you show them anger, they adjust. If you show them fear, they exploit it. But if you show nothing, They are blind. They cannot predict you. And unpredictability is the ultimate defense. The psychological battlefield, how manipulators infect your mind. The greatest battles are not fought with swords, they are fought in the mind. And the manipulator knows this truth better than anyone. They do not need to break your bones. They only need to break your perception, because once your perception is broken, you will chain yourself. 1. The seed of doubt. The manipulator plants seeds in silence. They don't directly accuse you. They don't openly insult you. Instead, they whisper half-truths. They ask loaded questions. They suggest possibilities that linger in your mind. Are you sure they really like you? Do you really think you're capable of this? Don't you think you might be overreacting? Each doubt is small, harmless, on its own, but stacked together, they form a cage. Soon, you begin to question everything, your choices, your value, your strength, and here lies the secret. Once you doubt yourself, you no longer resist them, because self-doubt makes obedience feel like safety. 2. Emotional hooks. Manipulators understand emotions are faster than logic. They trigger feelings before you can think. A sudden praise, a sudden insult, a sudden withdrawal, a sudden confession. They keep you swinging between extremes, highs and lows, until your nervous system is exhausted. And in that exhaustion, you stop analyzing. You stop asking questions. You simply surrender, because surrender feels easier than thinking. This is not persuasion. This is conditioning. 3. Gaslighting, rewriting reality. The manipulator's deadliest weapon is gaslighting. They take your memory and twist it. They make you question events you lived through. They erase your certainty until you depend on them for truth. You're imagining things? You always exaggerate. That never happened. You're too sensitive. At first you argue, then you doubt. Finally, you give up. Because fighting for your reality feels hopeless, and when you surrender your memory, you surrender your identity. 4. Isolation, cutting off your army. Every strong person draws power from allies, friends, family, mentors. These people remind you who you are. Manipulators know this, so they isolate you. They criticize your allies. They create conflicts. They convince you no one understands you but them. Isolation is the prison wall. And once you are alone, their control becomes absolute. Identity. Hijack the final stage is when they hijack your identity. They convince you that you are not who you thought you were. They rewrite your role. You're nothing without me. You're the reason everything fails. You're the chosen one to save me. They define you so completely that you no longer exist outside their narrative. This is the manipulator's endgame. Not your destruction, but your transformation into their servant, their believer, their dependent. Machiavelli's immunity to mental warfare. Machiavelli lived in a world of lies, betrayal, and shifting alliances, and he survived because he understood one thing: the mind is the true fortress. First, question the frame. Never answer within the manipulator's question. If they ask, "Why are you so angry?" don't explain. If they ask, "Don't you trust me?" don't justify. The moment you answer, you've accepted their frame. Instead, step outside. Ask, why are they asking this? What do they gain from me answering? When you question the frame, you see the trap. 2. Guard your perception. Your perception is your weapon. Do not allow others to define events for you. Do not allow others to define your emotions. If they say, "That never happened," hold your memory. If they say, "You're overreacting," hold your judgment. Reality is not a democracy. It does not change because someone else denies it. 3. Build mental distance. Detachment is not coldness, it is clarity. When you detach, their words become sound, not commands. Their emotions become weather, not truth. Detachment is the art of seeing the battlefield from above. When you rise above, you cannot be ambushed. 4. Preserve independent alliances. Never allow anyone to isolate you. Maintain allies outside their influence, because allies reflect your true self back to you. When someone says no one else cares for you, test it. Reach out. Verify. Isolation dies in the presence of proof. 5. Reclaim your identity. The manipulator wants to define you. Machiavelli's counter-move, define yourself. Repeat. I am not what you say. I am what I choose. Your choices, not their labels, determine your identity. The moment you reclaim self-definition, their script collapses. The laws of immunity, becoming untouchable. The world is not fair. It is not kind. It is not forgiving. And in this world, weakness invites predators. Kindness without boundaries invites parasites. Openness without caution invites chains. If you want to survive, and more than that, to rule, you must become immune, untouchable, not by hiding, not by running, but by building laws inside yourself that no manipulator can break. Law 1. Control the flow of information. Machiavelli's first defense was always silence. Because words are weapons, and the less you give, the fewer weapons can be used against you. Never reveal your deepest fears. Never expose your entire plan. Never confess in desperation. Speak less. Observe more. Because the one who knows more and says less always controls the game. Law 2. Never depend on a single source of power. Dependence is slavery. If all your validation comes from one person, they own you. If all your money comes from one source, they own you. If all your courage comes from one leader, they own you. Diversify your strength. Build multiple sources of validation, wealth, and identity. When no single chain can hold you, you become unchained. Law 3. Keep people. Guessing predictability is vulnerability. Once they can predict you, they can control you. So confuse them, surprise them, act in ways they cannot fully anticipate. Sometimes give, sometimes withdraw, sometimes attack, sometimes vanish. An unreadable man is an unbreakable man. Law 4. Master emotional neutrality. The manipulator's favorite tool is emotion, anger, fear, guilt. These are levers they pull to move you. But neutrality breaks the machine. When they insult, remain calm. When they praise, remain calm. When they threaten, remain calm. Because the man who does not react cannot be manipulated. Law 5. Build a fortress of self-respect. Respect is not given. Respect is not begged for. Respect is built in silence, through boundaries. The one who enforces boundaries, even if it costs relationships, commands respect. The one who refuses disrespect commands fear, and the one who combines both becomes untouchable. Law 6. Remember, everyone has an agenda. Naivety is poison. Every smile hides an interest. Every favor hides a motive. Every alliance hides a risk. This does not mean you must hate. It means you must see. See people not as angels or demons, but as players with strategies. Respect their strategies, study their motives, and when you understand their agenda, you are no longer a pawn in their game. Law 7. Become your own source. The final law of immunity, the law that makes you truly untouchable. Stop waiting for others to define you. Stop relying on others to validate you. Stop allowing others to decide your worth. Become your own source of strength, your own source of pride, your own source of identity. When your fortress is inside you, no manipulator, no betrayer, no deceiver can ever take it away. Closing. Words. Machiavelli never begged for love. He never played for approval. He never surrendered his fortress to anyone. And that is why, centuries later, his words still burn with fire. So remember this. The world does not respect the soft. It does not reward the naive. It does not honor the unguarded. The world bows only to those who stand untouchable, those who control their words, their emotions, their boundaries, their identity. In a world of hidden daggers, your immunity is your crown, and once you build it, no one can take it from you.